What up? This is Candace.
Stand tall, be strong. We are undefeated today. Break through and never lose. We are undefeated today.
And you're listening to You Can't Sit With Us Radio.
Threshold Brace Productions.
Hey, what it do, what it do? Welcome to another episode of You Can't Sit With Us Radio, featuring myself, El Ambitious. Callie Bud is not in today. She is under the weather, so hopefully she feels better soon. So I'm going to hold it down today. I got a special guest on the show with me today. She goes by Wild Enemy. She is currently living here in Nashville, Tennessee, originally from New Mexico. She's a singer, painter, songwriter, a little bit of everything. I'm so glad to have her on the show today. How are you doing today, Wild Enemy?
I'm good, thanks. You doing all right?
Yeah. So how's your Easter/April Fool's Day been going?
It's been really quiet. I didn't really do a whole lot today. I just wrote a little bit and read.
Oh,
That's
okay.
pretty much it.
Okay. So no April Fool pranks or nothing?
I don't know. The day's not over yet, so.
Don't fool me though. I don't want to do it because April Fools and Easter don't go together no way.
I know.
It's so weird and bizarre to have them on the same day.
That's what I was just thinking. That's rare.
Yeah.
It is weird that they're both on the same day.
I haven't been a part of that before, I don't think. But that's super weird. But anyways though, how did you get your name Wild Enemy though?
So I wanted to start a project where I write spoken word poetry and then incorporate music like guitar usually. So, but I wanted to do it under just like a different name. Mm-hmm. So I actually went online and I looked for like band name generators, like those kind of websites. And I just, they have you like put in different words and answer questions, and then they like generate random
that's cool
names. And so eventually I don't think that Wild Enemy actually came up, but I think I just like saw the words and then I was like, that sounds kind of interesting. So I had a list of ones that I wanted to try
mm-hmm.
or that I was going to think about. And then, yeah, so it was just kind of a random thing.
So how long have you been living here in Nashville?
I've been in Nashville for almost 11 years, but I did go back home last year for about 5 months. But at the end of May, it'll be 11 years.
Oh, okay.
I know I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah. So what part of New Mexico you from?
Las Cruces, which is in the southern part. It's close to Texas.
Oh, okay. Does it get like real hot there? Or what?
It does in the summers. It gets into the 100s, but not as hot as like Arizona, which is close to New Mexico. But yeah, it does get pretty hot, and it's like a dry heat, as opposed to here where there's like a lot of humidity.
Do y'all get that bipolar weather like Nashville does?
No, I have never experienced such inconsistent weather since or like anywhere else except for Nashville.
So what made you move to Nashville specifically though?
Like probably most people who aren't from here, songwriting. When I was like 15 or 16, I started getting really into like writing song lyrics, and I kind of picked up a guitar when I was like 18, so I was kind of like late compared to other people. But and then I kind of would like to mess around on piano when I was in school back home. But I had a songwriting book. My mom got me this songwriting book, and on one of the pages it said that like Nashville, LA, and New York City are the top places for songwriting. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll just move to Nashville, because I wanted to move away from like where I'm from. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to like experience something different. So I just started like researching Nashville. I'd never been here before, and then after I decided to move here, like a couple months after I was here, it was really actually an easy process. But yeah, so initially songwriting is what brought me here.
Have you ever ghostwritten for anybody?
Have I ghostwritten for anybody?
Mm-hmm.
No.
would you be up to it though?
Uh, I guess maybe, but I really, anything I write, I really, I don't know. I feel like I'd want it to be known that I wrote something.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm selfish.
that's true. I mean, if they paying you though, I mean, that's a different story.
Yeah, well, yeah, I
really
guess it
good.
kind of depends on what it is.
Yeah.
If I wrote like a song that was maybe like had a lot of cuss words, I wouldn't want anyone to know that I wrote it. So maybe. Just kidding.
I'm just saying, cause I'm like I produce. I'm like I don't like country music at all.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody asked me one time, so you don't like country music, so if Taylor Swift comes to you and wants you to produce a track, you gonna tell her no? I was like, hell no. I'm like,
oh yeah,
like she has a huge following,
right?
Like I'm not gonna turn that opportunity down. Yeah,
but see, you'd probably get credit though.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I know some like big artists. I've heard that they'll take some of like the publishing or writing credits.
Yeah.
So I might like negotiate that, but I don't know. I've never thought about actually ghostwriting.
Yeah. It's before Taylor Swift turned to pop music, whatever it's called.
Hey, some pop music is good though.
Yeah, it is. Not hers though, but she should stay with country. Always trying to do something. She need to stop acting like she's so surprised every time she won a damn award. Jesus, like we know you know you gonna win, so why are you so surprised every time? Like, come on, like you should know you're gonna win. Stop acting so surprised.
Right.
But
She's a good
anyway,
actress
yeah,
too, I guess.
yes, I guess she is. No, she's not a good actress. Matter of fact, no, she's not. Cause her expressions is the same every time.
Yeah,
every time.
That's true. I've seen a lot of.
I still laugh at
things where
her.
they make fun of her.
I still laugh at her over that Kanye West thing, but hey.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. But also, you're a painter too, though, right?
Yeah. I actually didn't start painting until after I moved to Nashville.
Okay.
So.
What do you like most, doing music or painting?
I think I've seen more, I guess I could say like success with painting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really hard to choose. I guess it's hard to choose, honestly. I can say that I've been more into painting lately, but I kind of miss writing also. I kind of go between the two like for months at a time. But I guess I've produced more paintings than music. Like I've made more paintings, but I don't know, that's a hard one, man.
Do you have a favorite favorite thing to paint?
Not anything in particular. I do like mixed media and abstract paintings.
Okay.
And like lately I've been actually painting like abstract musicians.
Mm-hmm.
So I paint in series. Like like one time I did paintings of just like these little, I called them like hot air balloons. Like they're just these little balloons. I did like 8 of them. So I'll do like several of the same kind of paintings and then move to another like idea. But I typically like to paint things that have to do with music, I guess. And then also like kind of social justice type things. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the silver instrumental that you sent. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm really into movies that have good like instrumentals in the backgrounds. Like I pay close attention to the music. Like it always catches my ear. And for some reason, I really like the more simple, usually piano instrumentals.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is like really, really simple and like slow. But I don't know, when I was creating it, the mood I was in, I was just really kind of like calm. And I guess I'd been having like a good, probably like month or something, like where I just felt like things were just going really good. And then so I just decided I was just like messing around on my piano and I started just like recording the piano parts, and then I added some strings after. I was just in a really peaceful time.
Okay, cool.
Then.
So yeah, let's get into this instrumental. It's called Silver
All right.
by Wild Enemy. And we'll be right back on You Can't Sit With Us Radio. Hey, welcome back to You Can't Sit With Us Radio. That was the Silver instrumental by Wild Enemy. So how long have you been playing piano?
So when I was back home, I went to school for probably a year. I went to the college there, and I wasn't really doing anything with any kind of structure. I was taking dance and piano classes.
Okay.
So I kind of would mess around with piano then, but it actually wasn't until I moved here when I started getting more serious about it. But even then, I kind of I'm self-taught, but I've kind of played piano and then moved on to something else and then gone back to it. So it hasn't been consistent, but I would say probably the last 7 years on and off.
Okay. So, is there any particular reason why you don't have any social media at all?
Because it's the devil. I'm just kidding.
Hey, it can be.
I mean, I've had Facebook twice,
and
I deleted it. And then I've had Instagram, and obviously I deleted it. And I think that's pretty much it. But I don't know. I mean, it has its benefits, and I'm not against anyone who has it because pretty much almost everyone does.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I was trying to keep up, and I don't know. For me, it was just kind of draining.
Yeah, it can be.
And just some of the stuff people post is just, I just don't get it. I'm just why does that matter?
I know.
I think Instagram is really cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wouldn't even post stuff. I would just go and look at other people's stuff.
Yeah.
And just see what's trending and look at other people's art. I might get on Instagram again because a lot of people ask me if I'm on it. But also I find that a lot of people, when I tell them that I'm not on those things, they kind of feel like they have to defend why they're on it. And so I'm no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying people are bad for having it. It's just me personally. I don't know. I kind of don't. I guess I don't personally have the time that I feel like it takes to really make it worthwhile to have it. Because you really have to keep up with it.
Yeah, you do.
To keep people interested. And I'm more I'm super introverted, so I'm just I'm just gonna go paint or it. Like I have a website, so that's like my main thing.
Okay. What's the website?
Okay, it's kind of long, but
Okay.
it's www.ashleymintz. So ASHLEYMINTZ .weebly.com.
Okay. We'll definitely post that um in her bio. So you definitely, if you want to check that out, we'll definitely post that in her bio. So look for that. So like far as your painting, do you have like you do workshops, correct?
Yeah, lately, probably like the last year, I've been teaching art workshops, mostly at some of the different library branches and then other places too.
Like is it every week or what's like the time frame of it that you do it?
At first it was kind of like sporadic and random, but lately, like in the last probably since like February, it's been kind of weekly, sometimes 2 a week.
Okay.
And then like I won't have another one until the end of April because I'm working on getting like an exhibit together. But yeah, it's been getting more consistent like in the last few months, which I'm excited about.
What do y'all do at the workshop?
I've done some where I teach like mixed media painting and like adding textures to paintings. And then I've also done like art journaling, basically where we mix like painting and writing and also adding things to add texture to paintings.
Has somebody ever drew a stick figure?
No, but it's interesting because people will always be like, oh, I don't know how to paint or I don't know what I'm doing. I just wanted to see what this is about.
Yeah.
But then they do something really cool. Like I honestly don't think I've seen anything bad. And that's the thing about art is it's so personal to everyone. And you can't really say, well, I guess people do say it all the time that some art is bad. But I don't know, it's just something that's personal to everyone. And a lot of people are really judgmental on themselves about it. And so I don't know. I also try to tell people not to think too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we're in the workshops, I tell them just like have fun with it.
Yeah, don't overthink.
Yeah. And then they end up having fun with it and doing cool stuff.
So I know you was featured in the Nashville scene like probably a couple years ago about the being black in America.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Okay. Yeah, and it was also in the Nashville Arts Magazine.
Okay.
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay. That was really cool. So that idea came about because I started seeing just certain things now that happen that kind of happened during like slavery times. And then just it had to do with a lot of the ways that black people are treated in America. So for instance, I kind of did one where, well, I did do a painting where it kind of showed like back during slavery times when black men were auctioned off, and they usually chose the ones who were like athletically more like built and bigger.
Okay.
And then it kind of made me think of like basketball and football, how they what's the word when they pick I can't think of it now, when
like
they pick certain people for teams.
Like a draft?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I just like my mind just went blank. But yeah, so they have drafts and they usually pick, I mean it's a lot of black guys that are in sports.
Okay.
So and then also I did another one where it compared like when slaves were kind of like, I mean they're like in prison basically. And then now a lot of black people are disproportionately imprisoned as opposed to like white men. Even women too. It's the same thing with black women. So it's just a lot of it was just comparisons, and then a lot of them also were about like black women, because I feel like I don't see a lot of art representing black women. And my mom is black. The women who raised me are black. So I feel like that was important. And of course me being half black, obviously. Yeah. So yeah. So that's mostly what it was about.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you ever feel like pressure coming up with a new painting or?
Yes, I do. And I actually have an exhibit coming up this summer, and I've been trying to like avoid getting started
Why is
because
that?
I kind of like, I don't know, when I start doing a series or like a bunch of paintings for certain exhibits, I do get really stressed out, and I tend to like isolate myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I get really worried. Like I feel like I don't have enough time, even though I usually do. I start like soon enough, but I'm like, I need to finish this. And then also, I just wonder like about the effect, like if people are gonna be mad, you know, if it's gonna make
Mm-hmm.
them feel a certain way, which actually is a good thing. That's what art is supposed to do. It's supposed to like
Yeah.
evoke like different emotions, but um, also it just gets messy. Like I can't have a clean space when I'm getting into painting, and so I'm kind of scared to like totally mess up my apartment because of it. Like I just know that I'm gonna have paintings all over the place and like paint supplies and
You don't have like one of those what's they call, like rugs? What's the little mats that go around that catch paint and all
well,
that?
I mean, I actually have some stuff that I could put the paintings on to do them, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just in general, like just having the paintings all over the place, it always, I don't know, it just makes me feel like disorganized. But it's like there's no other way that I can work though.
Okay.
Like I don't know, it's weird to explain. It's kind of like being in a state of madness where I'm just like doing all this like painting. The only way that I can do it is if I do work on several at a time and like move around, and so I have to have stuff all over the place. But then a part of me is just like, yo, you got to clean this up. But yeah, I don't know. It probably sounds weird, but
Oh man.
yeah.
So
That's
let's get into another instrumental. This one, the other one you sing was Ghost of Man,
Uh-huh.
and tell us a little bit about that one.
I can't remember exactly what made me want to title that like that, but I was probably like in the midst of like a breakup or something.
Oh, okay.
But but yeah, this instrumental, I actually got to play this instrumental at the Ryman. We had like because I work at the Ryman Auditorium,
Mm-hmm.
and we had an event where any employee who like sang or played an instrument could perform. So I actually played this on the Ryman stage, which is pretty cool. But again, this is another. I love instrumentals. I love piano instrumentals. So this is just one where it's piano and then there's a little like other sounds. I believe there's like string.
Okay.
But yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. I thought about adding like lyrics and singing too, but that's something I'll have to work on.
Okay. All right. So let's get into a Ghost of Man instrumental by Wild Enemy, and we'll be right back. More. Alright, we're back. That was Ghost and Man instrumental by Wild Enemy. Yeah, that was pretty good. I think yeah, it does have strings in it, I believe, uh, when I listen to it, but it sounds really good. Don't you play the guitar also too though?
I do, but not enough to like. I don't know, not enough to be like, yeah, I play guitar.
Like
Like
professional.
I just like mess around with it.
Oh, okay.
I also like I'll add guitar sounds to some of my piano instrumentals, or like when I'm writing a song, I'll start it off on guitar just with like simple chords, and then I might switch over to piano.
So what's your favorite thing to do in music? Is it writing, playing instruments, or singing?
Um, I would say writing. I really like writing lyrics, and I like writing in general, but I really like writing lyrics. And then I would say like just the instrument part, like playing guitar, piano, and then singing. I guess like I don't know, I just have like really bad stage fright. Like if I was to perform live.
Oh wow.
But
You had that like all your life, stage fright?
um kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I've really done much where I was put in positions where I was like on stage when I was younger. Um but like when I moved here, I would actually like lug my piano and go to open mics. I think everyone kind of gets stage fright though, but I would really get like really, really freaked out. And then when I started doing spoken word poetry, that was a little better. And then I would do stuff where I performed and played guitar. And that was like okay, but that was harder for me to do for some reason, like singing and playing guitar at the same time. But yeah, so yeah, in that order. But I like singing, and I like collaborating with people and singing like with someone else, like on their songs. But I would say that like writing is my biggest thing
Okay.
as far as music goes.
Does when you're doing spoken word, does that help with like writing a song also?
Um
Like you write a poetry, and then you want to incorporate it into a song.
yeah, that's actually what I've been doing. That's actually what I have done, like as far as Wild Enemy. Like that's what the whole project was about.
Okay.
So I've written spoken word poetry and then added like singing. So like I'll kind of like speak and like with the poem, and then I'll sing a little bit and then do more of the poem and then sing. So I've kind of like incorporated them. Um as far as it helping write do you mean like separate songs, like if I'm writing a
Yeah.
poem,
Mhm.
does it
Yeah.
yeah, it has. Like it's kind of there's been times when I've been writing and it gives me like a part of what I've written as a poem has given me an idea for a song, or I'll start writing a poem and then I'll be like, this is kind of more like a song, and vice versa too. Like I'll write lyrics and I'll be like, this could be a poem. This would be better as a poem. So yeah.
Well, how do you ever get a writer's block?
Oh my gosh, yes.
How do you get over it? Most times.
I don't. I'm still
don't?
dealing with
Oh,
it
wow.
actually. Do you have any
Oh, wow.
ideas?
Nah, I don't.
No, lately, I mean, I guess part of it is if I'm really into painting, I'll kind of write a little bit, but it won't be like anything I'll focus on completely. I mean, I'm trying to think of when the last time was that I really sat down and wrote, but it probably was last year, because I actually went to a couple festivals. Like one was in Augusta, Georgia, and one was in Charleston, South Carolina,
cool.
to do like spoken word poetry performances.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to do more of that like soon also. But so I wrote stuff for that, and that was last year. So I mean I don't know. I really don't know how to get over it. Sometimes for me, because I go back and forth again with the painting and the writing. So sometimes it would just be once I got tired of painting, I would just switch to writing, and then that energy just went into writing. So I think you have to kind of make it your focus. But also, if you try to do something too much, it could feel like forced.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why sometimes I go from painting to writing and from writing to painting, because I'll get tired of one and then I'll have to switch to something else, something different, and then it's easier to do that thing because it's like I'm approaching it in a new way.
Yeah.
Like with a fresh mind.
So is there a such thing as a painter's block?
Yes, there is.
Oh,
And
wow.
I actually was going through it in the last like few months, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for my upcoming exhibit. I have ideas. I always write stuff down. I sketch stuff, and so I feel like I've kind of been in that area now where I kind of have painter's block. Doing the art workshops has helped, but I feel like I'm gonna have to step away from painting for a few weeks.
Okay.
Honestly, and just
Oh,
because
wow.
it's starting to feel like it's forced.
Oh wow.
So I'm gonna like step away from it and then maybe just like write or read
Mm-hmm.
or just I don't know, just maybe like take walks or something.
Yeah, that could help though. That helps a lot of people though. Just walking in the park, just like looking in clouds or something.
Yeah, getting into
Yeah.
nature.
Yeah, looking at the clouds.
I like to look at trees. I swear, like people probably think I'm weird because I'm like in awe of trees, how big they are, and sometimes their branches look like they're reaching out to you. So I'll just like be standing there looking at a tree, like comparing our sizes, like how huge it is and how I'm just so tiny. And like I feel like I've seen some people just kind of look at me like,
I'm sure they do.
what is she doing?
What?
Just getting back in touch with nature. That's all.
All right, so I got so bear with me on this next question. It's a kind of a bizarre question. So let's say you're writing. Let's say you are just randomly looking at a toaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're waiting on your toaster to get done, and all of a sudden, you go write or paint something that has nothing to do with a toaster, but the toaster gave you a idea for a painting or a song. Like, has that ever happened to you before?
That's an interesting question. So basically, it's just has there been something where I had an idea because it's something that had nothing to do with it?
Basically, like looking at a bird and you just write a song, but it has nothing to do with a bird. You are like even with a painting, you know, but you're not painting a bird. But
it somehow
the bird gave you
inspired.
exactly.
Dang, that's a really good question. I feel like I'm on the spot.
Play no games here on You Can't Sit With Us Radio. All questions. Last week,
For real.
I asked my cousin Tiffany, what you think about Crocs?
See, I can answer that easily. Just kidding. I don't know if I can think of anything specifically, but there was a time when I was like at an art crawl, and I don't know if it's because I was like drinking and I was kind of buzzed, but I suddenly was overcome with like the beauty of the art that I was looking at, and then I went home and like played piano, and I felt like it was because of that inspired it, but. I can't think of anything of any other object that seems totally unrelated, but that inspired it. That's a really good question. I'm going to be thinking about it now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I know. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I know it's a bizarre question. Don't be sorry.
It's not just that. It's just it's not something that I guess maybe I probably have done it a lot, but not realized it is a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like you just look in the refrigerator, about to get something to eat. You see an apple, you like, oh man, I need to go write a song. And it has nothing to do with the apple, you know?
Yep.
You know, something weird. You know, everybody has those moments.
Right.
Just like daydreaming out in space.
Oh, I do that a lot. When I look at trees, usually.
Yeah. What was the tree we saw earlier? That was like I don't know, it had I don't know what that was. That was a weird tree.
It was. So there was actually two of them. There was one right next to it. When we were driving past it, I saw another one, but the branches were really white, while the rest
that
of
was
the
weird.
the tree was like
I
brown.
like the color came off.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was weird.
I think it looked like the part that was brown, there was some, you could see some white, and I think what happened was the brown part had just like peeled away. But I don't know how that happens. I've never seen that before. But not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, all the branches were like
weird.
white.
It's funny when trees look like people. You know,
Yeah,
they
that's
got
what
the
I'm
arm,
saying.
yeah.
Yes, I've seen. I mean, there's this one tree. I used to live in this one area, and there's this huge tree, and it literally has like this huge branch where it kind of goes. It kind of like looks like a seat or something. Like you could sit on it, and it's like low to the ground. Like it's, and sometimes they look like they're reaching out. Like the branches are like hands.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was weird.
Look at
though.
some trees.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Y'all should look at some trees someday and just
no
stare
matter the
at
looks
'em.
that you get.
Yeah.
You're just getting in touch with
Oh
nature.
my god, it'd be so funny. So what's your favorite color to paint with?
I really like red. I paint a lot with red and yellow together. I've noticed.
I like red.
Yeah, I like red. And then I guess I have more. There's more like color combinations that I usually paint with that are my favorites. I also like turquoise, pink, and yellow together.
Okay.
But I would definitely say the one color would be red, but then
Okay.
red and yellow definitely.
What do you have like a artist tool that you have to use every time when you're doing a painting? Like a favorite tool that you have to use?
I don't know if I really have a tool that's. I mean, I have the typical paint brushes and paints, and then I'll just like add stuff like lace and different things to add texture. But one thing that I do always like to paint on is wood. Like I paint on canvas, but lately I love painting on wood. So I don't know if that's like the same thing or what you mean.
Yeah. That's exactly what I meant. Don't you sell your artwork?
I do.
What, like on your website or?
I have on my website and I have on Etsy.
Okay.
But I need to update my website. I took the store down just because I was I don't know, like last year, like when I went back home, I was kind of just focusing on myself, so I kind of like stripped down my website a little bit. But I plan on putting it back up. But usually when I have my art in like a store or like a boutique, I have some stuff in a boutique in like a doctor's office.
That's cool.
I've sold art that way, and then when I do art exhibitions, usually I sell art.
What's that boutique that was downtown? That one time, when I went to your art crawl.
Yeah,
What?
Karma.
Do you still have some in there?
I do, but she moved.
Oh, she did?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
okay.
still downtown. I haven't been to her new location, but she's still downtown.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's called Karma Boutique, and I still have some small paintings and like prints and cards. Her shop is great.
Yeah.
Like she's really cool. She goes by Karma
Yeah.
too, but
Yeah, she told us, what was it? One time she told us there was a fair downtown.
yeah.
It was a
Oh yeah, we were like walking around.
And there was, what's the TV show Nashville was filming down there?
Yeah,
They said at the fair.
And then we had to like go
Yeah.
another way,
was
because like wouldn't let us in or something. That was funny. Yeah, one of my first exhibits was actually there. So I had that one that we went to, but before that, I had done one. And so yeah, I mean I love her. That's a good boutique. She usually has really good artists who show their art there.
she's funny.
And sell stuff.
Yeah, I like her. She's funny.
Yeah. I need to go see her. It's been a while.
All right, so let's get into your this is actually a song. This is your Leave the Boy Alone. Is this it? Well, tell us a little bit about this song.
This is like kind of an older song that I wrote. But I like writing songs. When I write lyrics, a lot of the times I like to write songs that kind of tell stories. Those are my favorite kind of songs. So I know you said you don't like country music, but but if you get the right country song, there will be a story.
Yeah.
And like I like songs that kind of like move you through time and just like tell stories. So this is kind of like kind of tells a story about basically a girl, like the first time falling in love, and then how her family or whoever is around her is like, no, like you need to leave that boy alone. So yeah, it's basically like a coming of age type thing where a girl falls in love and then
So
she's becoming a woman.
so this has nothing to do with you specifically.
No, because I also refer to the states California and Georgia,
Okay.
and I've never lived in either of those states. Although I've been to both states,
Just ain't never lived there.
I've never lived there. Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, so it's not. I mean, I'm sure like there's definitely guys that I should have left alone, so I probably should have taken my own advice. But this is not. This was not written for anyone specifically in my life.
Okay.
It's just like an idea. Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Leave the Boy Alone by Wild Enemy. We'll be right back. More with
Right.
Wild Enemy.
Un, dos, tres. He drove in one night from California in a ride as hot as it was June, to spend the summertime in this small town in Georgia, right around the height of my bloom. And there's a thin line that stretches, separating a woman from a girl. And I've been dancing along the edges, waiting for my time to unfurl. Leave the boy alone, they say. He's just trouble I shouldn't chase. Looking for behavior change. They're praying I don't lose my way. Leave the boy alone, they cry. But I wonder if the threat is a lie. They don't see a thing they like, so they don't see why I can't deny him. He was drawn to me like a moth to a flame. Felt my burning for a thrill. There's a time to be wild, a time to be tame, and my heart only beats this fast when I run, but I'm standing still. And there's a thin line that stretches, separating the good from insanity. So life's already a little bit reckless. Why couldn't love be? Leave the boy alone, they say. He's just trouble I shouldn't chase. They're looking for behavior change and praying I don't lose my way. Leave the boy alone, they cry. But I wonder if the threat is a lie. They don't see a thing they like, so they don't see why I can't deny him. Can't leave the boy alone. Can't leave the boy alone. He makes mine a happy soul. No. City meets dirt roads. Finally free, I'm home. Mama, don't you stress this, no. Can't leave the boy alone.
Hey, welcome back. That was Leave the Boy Alone by Wild Enemy. About that time to end the show, but before we do that, I want to try something new. I want to give our guests an opportunity to ask the host any question that they want. So, and like random, bizarre questions. It don't matter what type of questions. I want to give Wild Enemy a chance to ask me a question. She was laughing while we listened to the song, so I want to hear her question. What is your question?
Okay, this is like seriously random and has nothing to do with anything we've talked about.
Oh man.
Okay. All right, so the question is, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Oh wow. I have no idea what that means. Okay, so
I told you it was random.
horse-sized ducks.
Yeah. So you could either choose to fight one horse-sized duck, so it's a huge duck the size of a horse,
Oh my god.
or 100 duck-sized horses, so 100 horses that are
God.
like small like ducks.
I gotta go with the one duck horse, I guess.
The big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because having 100.
100. I don't.
ducks.
No, I don't even know. No, that wouldn't.
Or no,
work.
horses, I mean. The 100 duck-sized horses.
Yeah, I had to go with the one, whatever it is.
The one duck as
Yeah.
opposed to the 100
Yeah,
horses.
I can't. No, 100. No, I can't. Hell no.
It's so
I
random.
gotta have like grenades and everything.
Yeah.
No.
Because you would just be fighting one, even though it'd be a
Yeah.
huge duck. It would just be one as opposed to 100. Like,
Do they have a picture of that?
no.
Oh my.
It's just on my.
Oh my
It's
god.
just like a random.
I gotta
like,
see a
there's
picture of that.
random, number of questions.
That's weird. I need to see a picture of that.
Yeah, I'll paint one.
That is. So I wonder could they swim then?
You're really thinking about
Yeah.
this.
I think about that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
It's a duck
The
and a horse,
horses.
so I'm like, okay. I know horses. I don't know if horses really like water like that.
No, actually, no. So you could just run in the water.
But the ducks do. So I mean, the duck
The
part.
one
I
duck,
don't know.
yeah. That would be a huge duck. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to have nightmares now.
Oh man. I imagine Daffy Duck being on the horse. Man.
Oh, my gosh.
That was
Ducks
weird.
are scary, though, sometimes. I've been, like, run after by ducks.
What? Really?
Yeah, like,
Oh wow.
yeah. They scare me now. After, like, this one duck was,
Wow.
like, chasing after me. I was like, what the duck?
The duck. Wow,
So they
that's
kind of scare me.
that's-
I don't try to feed them bread or anything anymore. Like, I'm gonna leave y'all alone.
oh man. Oh man. Yeah, that was a weird question.
I know. I told you.
That was
it gonna be
fun, though.
random. It made me laugh though, like super loud, and I was like, "This is the compared to the other questions." I was like, "This is the one."
Oh man.
I was scrolling through and I read that one and I could not stop laughing.
Oh my
fun.
god. So thank you, YME, for being on the show today. I greatly appreciate it. Do you have any final words? Do you have anything you want to promote that you got coming up that you want people to come to? Anything?
Yeah. First I want to say thanks for having me.
No
I really had
problem.
fun.
No problem.
And I'm glad you answered that weird question.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I have. There's an art exhibit that I'm putting together. It's actually a community project. I
Mhm.
did some workshops and we did paintings. There's gonna be about 40 or so paintings from just people in the community,
Okay.
ages like 6 to like 90, who did these paintings and writing. And that's gonna be at the Curb Center in Vanderbilt.
Okay.
It's gonna be April 20th through July 31st. You can go and look. And then I have more stuff coming up. I have an exhibit in July at the Scarrett Bennett Center in Nashville.
Mhm.
But that more information on like later stuff can be found on my website.
Okay.
But as far as like really soon, it's gonna be the Curb Center
Okay.
exhibit, which is I'm really excited about it because it's a community thing, and the workshops are really good. It was a good way to bring people together.
Where's the workshops at?
They were at the Curb Center, and then
Okay.
I also actually went to a nursing home, and then I did like a kind of like I call it a pop-up workshop where I just went to a library for people who weren't able to go to the other workshops so they could paint
Okay.
pictures. But yeah, they were mostly at the Curb Center. Yeah, we had people of all ages, races. It was just really great. Everyone had fun, and part of the reason I did that was to bring people together.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely post the bio in your website in the bio so people can come find you and you know try to get some people to come to your workshops and exhibits and all that good stuff. So we'll definitely post your website. Yeah, thank you again for being on the show. Greatly appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, about to end the show. So follow me at ambitious1k on Instagram, ambitious1000 on Twitter. Follow Threshold Brace, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Um, Callie should be back next time. So yeah, thank you again. You Can't Sit With Us Radio, and we out this bitch.
Threshold Brace Productions.
Psst, psst. Hey you listening to this right now. If you like what you heard, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. If not, I'm gonna come find you. And my name is Ambitious, so you know I'm gonna find you. Don't play with me. Bye.
Threshold Brace Productions.
Hey, you listening to this right now. If you like what you heard, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. If not, I'm going to come find you. And my name is Ambitious, so you know I'm going to find you. Don't play with me. Bye.
Threshold Brace Productions.